Hello everybody, my name is Lucas Kozlowski.
I'm Dee Dee Brustis.
I'm Nick Ludis.
And I'm James Passion.
And we are
Brush Buddy.
Now I'd like to tell you a little story about our friend Brad. Brad's your average high school student, social, has tons of friends, talkative in and out of class. He participates in clubs and activities and sports after school. Every day, Brad's mom packs him a stinky tuna fish sandwich. This tuna fish sandwich is constantly getting in his teeth and just stinking up his breath for the rest of the day. And Brad ends up lacking confidence every day after lunch. He then goes to his next class and sits next to his crush, Jennifer. Now, Jennifer wants nothing to do with Brad because of his stinky breath and his ugly appearance with gunk always in his teeth. So it leaves Brad with no chance. That's why we've created our product. Our product is our pre-pasted mini toothbrush. This means that we're going to have a little dot of edible toothpaste on the bristles so it's ready to go and ready to brush anytime. It's also going to be portable. It's going to be a smaller size so you can put it in your pocket, your backpack, your lunchbox, purse, etc. It's also going to have a C floss pick so it can get that gunk out of your teeth, in Brad's case, the tuna. And it's going to be true friendly, which I'll get into in the next slide. But we're also going to have more flavors, such as orange, bubblegum, grape, and we may even go into soda flavors. So we're going to make it out of mouth guard material. As a football player, I constantly see kids chewing on their mouth guards, and it does no damage to their teeth. So we thought this was a good thing for a toothbrush, so you can gnaw on it rather than your sweatshirt strings or your pen during class. We're also going to have a C floss pick similar to this that we're going to attach and make adjustments to the Colgate list in order to make our product.
Okay, so our direct competitor is obviously the Colgate Mini Toothbrush. Now, after our team tried the Colgate Mini Toothbrush, we noticed that the bristles on the head of the brush are very weak and always fall off in your mouth if you're chewing on them. And there is only 3 flavors, and they're the fluoride flavors, and we'd obviously like to add more, as Luke said. And there also isn't a lot of toothpaste on the brush, so it doesn't last as long. Also, the brush is made out of a harder plastic, so kids are chewing on these in the hallways or wherever they use them. It's hard on their teeth, so we want to use a safer material so they don't hurt their teeth. And the pick on the back of that brush, it only goes into people who have gaps in their teeth, so we want to create a C floss pick so we can get into hard to reach places. Also, our indirect competitors are things like gum and mints. Obviously, they freshen your breath, but we are kind of a 2-in-1 where we will freshen your breath and also clean your teeth. So our target market is kids ages 14 through 22. We decided to focus on this demographic because it focuses on both college students and high schoolers. This is the most active age group. They're either going to lecture halls and studying with their friends after, or going out to parties, and obviously everyone wants to be presentable and smell good in front of people. Here we have Harrison. Harrison has lunch and then he goes straight to VHS TV after. He's talking to his friends and we don't want him to be embarrassed by his breath, so we're going to give him our brush. For our psychographic, we decided to focus on social people and people involved in and out of school because they're the ones that are up close and personal with everyone, and they obviously want to look and feel presentable and confident. So our marketing strategies are free. We decided to use VHS TV and Schoology. So VHS TV is played every Wednesday morning, so all the students and staff are exposed to it. I actually have my own segment on VHS TV called In the Know, and there I've marketed for other companies and advertised for them throughout the school, and they've been exposed that way. So we want to do the same for our team. Also, Schoology, there's a teacher in the counseling department that sends emails that reach all the students and the staff. So we want to attach our landing page to an email and our survey and get it out to the schools so they can be exposed to our product.
And now to get into the fun financial aspect of our business, we have acquired the number of $180,000 for our total addressable market. Now the way we acquired this number was we came up with the idea of the largest net we could cast is the students at our school, which is around 3,000 students. Now the way we got 180,000 was we multiplied 3,000 by 12, which is the frequency of purchase, because one of these bags of brushes will last them around a month. So 12 times in a year, and then times 5, which brings you out to $108,000. Now for a serviceable addressable market potential, we have it around $90,000. And we acquired this from using just the males at our school, since we're gearing this product more towards males. And the same thing, 1,500, which is around half the school, times 5 and times 12 the same way. And for our first year market share, we have 19%, which come out to a market share revenue of $17,100. And we came up with 19% of the 1,500 males in school that we feel we have the best reach to, as in juniors and seniors and people that are close to us. So our estimated price per unit will be $5 for 20 of these brushes in one package. And we came up with this number through competitive pricing. Now the Colgate Mini Toothbrush prices their product at a very similar pricing for around $5 for 20. So we want to be competitive with them, and also we have the information on what plastic we're going to use and how much of that plastic we need to create 20 of the brushes to make sure that we have a profitable margin. So our gross profit margin is 40%, and our cost of goods sold per unit is $3. So when you subtract $3 from the $5, you have $2, which is 40% of 5, with a gross profit margin of 40%. So our gross profit at the end of year 1 will be $6,830. And we got this number from subtracting the amount of money we would need to create all the brushes for year 1, minus the revenue we'd create if they purchased it, which would come out to $6,830, which in total would sell around 3,415 units of our brush buddy packages, which is 20 brushes in each package.
Okay, so for our MVP, our goal is to send out about 1,000 emails, and in this email will contain a little bit about us, what we do, and who we are. And also in our email there will be a link to our landing page. There are multiple features on our landing page, such as a unique value proposition of our product, an informational video with a story in it, and multiple pre-order buttons, where if our customers do click to the pre-order button, it will lead them to a shipping information page where they can fill out their name, street address, and email address. So we're asking you to board for $150 to purchase 20 of these Colgate Wisp bags. Once we receive these bags, we will then hand them out to 20 potential customers around the high school. We'll give them a week with the product to experiment with it. After that week, we will then interview them and ask them what they liked and didn't like about the product, and we'll use that feedback to shape our final product. So to determine our quantitative success, it will be the number of emails that we send out, like I said again, 1,000, and the number of pre-orders and the pre-order process that our customers go through. And then to determine our qualitative success, it will be from the feedback that we get from the customers off the MVP test that we run with the Colgate brushes. So just to clarify our 5-step MVP process, it starts off with step 1, sending emails, and then step 2 is the landing page, getting our customers from step 1, clicking on the link in the email to the landing page, and going through that pre-order process. Step 3 is getting the Colgate brushes, handing them out to the 20 customers, and then step 4 is interviewing them, asking them what they like and didn't like about it, and step 5 is finalizing our product and using the feedback that we got from step 4 to shape our final product.
So, now that Brad has our product, he's able to have the confidence he needs to talk to anyone and take out his date, Jennifer. So please stay fresh and clean and join our team.
Who wants to start here?
Okay, I'll start. So why doesn't Brad just make his own lunch and not do tuna?
He likes tuna, and plus there's like plenty of things like whether you're eating just like a regular sandwich or stuff from the lunchline. Like I know they have like nachos and stuff like that's gonna get your breath stinky and like.
So I've got a question for you. Did I hear correctly that the initial group you're going after is largely males? Is that right?
Yeah.
Relatively, yeah.
We're focusing on like the confidence aspect of
Okay.
males and like juniors and seniors. We think from like interviews about like confidence and boosting your confidence and stuff, they're really self-conscious when they're talking to someone they like, or they just want to be presentable and smell good around people.
Okay.
So
So that's what you found out in your interviews?
Yes.
And you were interviewing both men and women?
Yes.
Okay, because another angle that I was curious about is, yes, is confidence. I do
Yeah.
think you hit the right thing there, but sometimes a sensitivity to their appearance, just pure vanity, and women tend to be known for that.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like you're missing out on a good half of your potential target market by saying only males. Because as a mother of all boys, this was the time period when I really wish they did care more about hygiene and appearance and all that. But those girls, for at least their friends, different story. And another thought in terms of your marketing, where you're going to push out emails, all fantastic. Could you get a little bit more, have you thought about getting a little bit more guerrilla about that? Because nothing wrong with that, that's great. But you, using Barrington High School as just a little petri dish, as an experiment, you've got pockets in this school that, by virtue of their interests, their clubs, are a whole lot more vanity sensitive because of what they're doing. BHS TV is one, for those of you who are in front of the camera. Those folks who are at Orchesis, in the plays, in the musicals, and that's the last thing they want, is a piece of lettuce or parsley between their teeth when they're on stage. So is there some guerrilla tactics that you can do to get them to try your product and perhaps become cheerleaders for your product? And speaking of cheerleaders, basketball cheerleaders, all that kind of jazz. I mean, wouldn't they want to use your product before they hit the courts?
Definitely,
Yeah.
I think that'd be great to be able to distribute some of those Colgate bags to them and see what they did and didn't like,
Yeah.
to kind of evaluate that, and then like he said, we're going to kind of shape our final product off that. So that's definitely someone that we're going to look to distribute a couple of those Colgate
Yeah,
bags to.
just a thought, because they may be more likely to try it, and then you can whip out your iPhone or whatever, Android, and film a little testimonial and incorporate that as to part of your in the know. But
How hard have you looked at the costs of, making the product?
So far we have reached out to Colgate, their manufacturing company. We called them, we talked to them, and they said they were going to send out a letter to my address. We have not received the letter yet, but we are also looking at some local manufacturing or even the possibility of 3D printing out. So we know what the plastic we need and the amount of plastic we need. It's just the idea of putting it all together if we were to either put it into a mold and manufacture it or 3D print.
Adding on to that, my dad works in the packaging industry, and he has connections to like a lot of people that now like 3D print demos and different prototypes. So we look to do that in the near future.
I think what you're going to find is that the cost to make these is really large. Like all the patenting and the molding and the ability to manufacture them, and your market size is so small relative to the entry cost of building it. Because I think what you said is your TAM was just Barrington High School.
Yeah,
So the sooner that you get, and this is why you do an MVP, the sooner you get exposure into the cost of manufacturing it, I think it'll change your perspective on what your target market will be. It won't, I can almost guarantee you, that it's not going to make sense to put a bunch of money into the manufacturing of this and only sell it to boys at Barrington High School. Like, the market size and the costs aren't going to match. You're going to have to sell it to the world
yeah.
to be able to justify it. And you're going against Colgate.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
it's
right.
talk about name recognition in the dental space. Besides Crest, I guess they have it. I wonder if there's a way for you guys to think about solving the same problem with maybe a different solution. Like, I don't know, but maybe a dispenser of the Colgate. You stick with the Colgate product. You just buy it for $5 for 20, and you happen to sell it for $6 because you're putting it in the school and you're making it convenient. You have a little bit of a, you just upsell it. Somebody could buy it for $5, but they have to go to Costco to get it, and you bring it right to the school, and you can just upcharge it. It might not be the exact product that you want, and you could make the product improvements, but it achieves the same thing. Brad's confidence is built up. Whether he chewed on the toothpaste or the toothbrush or used the Colgate one, the tune is out of his teeth, right? So I might just say, hey, let's embrace the Colgate stuff, or buy a knockoff of Colgate. Source it. Don't get into the manufacturing business. Get into the distribution business in a high school and do it maybe through I don't know, I doubt vending machines are the way to go, but something like that, like a,
Dispensers and like bathrooms maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
Lunch line?
we found that like,
Point of purchase, yeah, at the cafeteria, just grab one of these things on your way out.
that's our biggest risk, like the molds and like all
Yeah,
that.
we-
It's like really,
Yeah,
really
I'll tell you
expensive.
what, you're the 7th year that's taking this class. The first year kids have a great idea. They're still working on it, but it's the Cleat Guard folks, they're still, trying to figure out a mold for something that slips over your shoe. It's not easy. And I'd rather see you start making money, solving the problem, with leveraging the work that others have done. So, maybe you pivot on your MVP of not saying, hey, tell us what you like and don't like in the Colgate thing. Let's just sell the Colgate product and sell it for 20% more than you bought it for. And put it at the end of the cafeteria line and see if you can say, the market, high school, and you don't even have to limit it to boys, high school kids will buy this product. There's X number of people that go through the lunch line every day and 1% of them buy this toothbrush.
Just encourage,
individually.
Sell them individually.
yeah, as a distributor, I would just encourage you to keep thinking bigger, whether it's the women issue, where I think men and women have the same issue, but it also continues. I mean, when I'm eating at work and I'm eating a salad or I'm drinking a coffee, I have the same problem, especially when I'm going to go see clients. So think about the distribution of the product, whether it's in a workplace or whether it's at a school. I think keeping those aspects in mind is important.
The processed food industry, like what grocery stores are doing and where you can buy processed food and people buying their, meals, at the cash register, that's where they sell mints and gum.
Mhm.
Just, sell a mini toothbrush and individualize it, package it up. Now, I don't know how you'll have to repurpose the Colgate product, but I'm selling it at a premium, but there's a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, just to riff on that idea a bit more, I'm just thinking of the friendly businesses in town, meaning friendly to this program and the students in this program, like Savory Salads, because they're a Barrington High School alum. Just curious to see if you could run an experiment with them, because they specialize in the kind of food that gets caught in people's teeth and people who have to continue working, if that could just be a part of their napkin and the silverware thing that they pass out, and just follow through with, people's reactions. Do they find it useful? Do they find it valuable? Would they be willing to pay X for it? Just looking for roots on that.
The Colgate, go back to the 20-pack for $5. No, yeah.
It's,
No, how much does that
That's
cost?
$7.50 right
There's
there.
$7.50?
On Amazon, and then in.
And there's
Walgreens,
24
it's
in
like
there?
price.
Yeah.
So $7.50 divided by 24 is 31 cents per brush.
Mhm.
Yeah, buy those, open it up, put a little bit of money towards packaging,
Yeah.
and make it really cool, and sell them for $1. And the 31 cents, and you're selling for $1, now you have a 70% gross margin.
Right?
People would buy it for $1, maybe not.
Especially in a restaurant or cafeteria, or
Yeah,
something when you
especially
don't have
yeah.
dental equipment with you to be able to brush your teeth or to floss after you eat a salad.
Yeah. Even if they buy it for 50 cents and you buy it for 30 cents, you still get your same 40% gross margin, but you don't have to go through the brain damage of trying to make these on your own. That's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Time.
And it's not, there's nothing minimal about that.
Yeah.
So the way to do this is go repackage them and spend some money in your MVP around packaging. And Sam, you can't put them in can't be packed gross because this is gonna be put in somebody's mouth. So think about making it feel like it's clean in your packaging and appealing. And then see what happens. So, we would be happy to give you money to buy inventory and give you, and figure out, buy some packaging. You're gonna have to keep the packaging pretty cheap, because it's 31 cents for this. Think about packaging that's like less than a nickel, that looks good.
Can I offer one other comment too? Now that we've seen MVPs a number of years, don't wait to learn something. In other words, hop right on Amazon, order it, even if your first packaging is just the first attempt, get to the first basketball game. Find where the cheerleaders are getting prepped, getting ready. See if they'll buy them. I mean, at a buck a piece, that's easy. And if no one buys them, that gives you a clue. Ask them why. And if they all disappear, because that's all gonna work, I mean, you're learning things right there. And it may not be the perfect thing, it won't be. Just assume it won't be. But you'll maybe learn one or two things, so the next time out, where you go again, either the next game or to the next play, whatever, dance concert, you'll have upped your offering. So don't lose time.
I doubt it'll make sense for you to go sell these like a concession, like who wants a toothbrush, $1 toothbrush? I would imagine it'll make sense at a point of sale. You know what that is?
Yes.
It's like at the cash register where you're going to pay. It's an impulse buy. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. And so, and you get to test it in school, so you probably have to work with Aramark, is the food service company here.
Last point here.
You probably have to work with them, or maybe the concession stand, or you'll find out that that's a problem. And by the way, if this idea of if you guys are really into figuring out the manufacturing of a new product, and what we told you is like it's just our opinion. If you're very passionate about chasing down the manufacturing deal, it's your call. Like,
I mean, everyone we've talked to, it just seems like a hassle, and it's like a lot of work.
Yeah.
So,
We've also contacted like a couple of like coffee shops around the area, and we've like talked about like putting it like maybe just like in like you said in individual packaging, and just
Absolutely.
putting it like in a little bin right next to the register, so
Just
they
take one to go.
could take it with their coffee.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great idea.
yeah,
All right, good luck.
very
Thank you so
good.
much.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Michael, what's the number?
Hey, that's good job.
150?
Nice work.